guys, welcome to episode 29 of Mandy Pinecone Crafts. Today is February 24th. I hope everybody's had a good 2 weeks since I recorded last. It's been somewhat of a busy, stressful 2 weeks here. So a lot of knitting got done the first week, and the last week it's gone out the window. I did end up finishing, I think, 6 different things. 3 of them I don't have anymore. So I will post pictures of those in the show notes. The first thing I finished is the hat I'm wearing. This is the Snowy Day hat pattern by Brandy Miller, Eat My Yarns. It is knit out of Open Skies Knits Winter Sky in the DK. It is this fun pattern. It's got 2 inches, it's got ribbing, and then there's pine trees, and then snow coming down. This actually got knit on the one and only really snowy day we've had in the last couple of years, the 12th. We ended up with a snowstorm that gave us like 6 to 10 inches, somewhere around there. So I sat inside and knit on the hat for the most of the day. I finished it the next morning and actually took some really pretty pictures of it in the snow, with snow in the background. I will post actually my favorite picture in the show notes also. So there's that one. This was the second thing I finished. The first thing I finished was my Egg Girl thing by Hoe Locatelli. It is knit, that's actually showing up really well. It is knit out of Fiber Stash in the Princess Mandy. The blue is Storm Coast, and the top lace pattern is done in Chalkboard. And the Chalkboard is actually her Twinkle Toes base. The Mandy Pinecone is in the Strong Toes, and then the Storm Coast is in her tweed. So I meant to show you guys actually this last time. I was actually up here when I recorded last, but totally spaced on showing this hat. So I finished that the day I recorded, or the day after, and then started working on my Snowflake sweater by Tin Can Knits, which is actually finished. It was knit out of I gotta rescan these balls. Knit Picks Brava Sport in the cotton candy in the cream. It is this pretty, if you haven't seen it, it's this pretty sweater pattern that has lace up top, and then the body was in the pink. That went to my HR manager for her new baby, which she's due any day now. So I finished it just in time. I also finished for her another hat out of this yarn in almost a modified Snowy Day pattern, because I was just using up the yarn, and then a boob hat using these colors because she asked for one. I got a lot of looks from different people because I was knitting on it in a all-store meeting on on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday I was knitting on it. And people were wondering why I was giving our HR manager a boob hat. And she had thought the hat was hilarious, and asked for one. So I told her I'd knit her one, so she ended up getting one. So those are the 3 that I don't have with me. I did 2 hats and the sweater for her, and gave it to her at our store meeting, where we actually put together a gift basket full of just about every baby item you would need for a little one and gave it to her and surprised her with it, which was she knew I was knitting a couple things, but she didn't know the extent, because I also made a Lowe's vest that fits a teddy bear, so it'll fit her little one, because both her and her husband work at Lowe's, and I've worked with both of them in the past. And so then the last thing I finished was the Gramps cardigan by Tin Can Knits. This is also knit out of Knit Picks Brava. I think this is the worsted though. And I love how this turned out. This is actually going to get mailed in the morning. The buttons are, ooh, you can actually see, are by Crinkles on Etsy. I picked them up in my local LYS this week because I wanted big wooden buttons, and I love the idea of them being laser cut because they are going to a geeky guy and he'd get a kick out of the laser cut buttons. And then the only other thing I worked on was my scrap blanket, my Mutter Square scrap blanket. I was able to finish 10 squares for the snowball fight this past week. So I finished this square, which is No Maker's Pumpkin Spice Latte. This one here is No Maker's Grandma's Kitchen, and the colors are not showing up right. This is Cupcake Yarns Jafar. This is Cupcake Yarns Raja. This is Cupcake Yarns Anger. Joy. These three here, this pink, or this purple, red, and green, are unknowns from Dixie. And then this pink one, which is showing up red, but it's actually a bubblegum, or not bubblegum, yeah, close to a bubblegum pink, is from my friend Kathy. So I was able to do 10 squares on that. I thought I'd get a lot more done. My husband actually last Wednesday got asked if he'd actually go to Florida for a conference for work and was gone for 4 days. He just got back yesterday. So I thought I'd have time to knit, but I had my friend Michael come over, and we had crafting parties of other sorts. He brought over his Cricut, and I was able to actually label my needle organizer, so they now, each drawers have labels of what's in them with the US and the metric. And then the top, has an S with the Snow White silhouette and an apple. And the bottom drawer here is not labeled because that's got all my DPN holders in them. Because all that's in here is my DPNs and fixed circulars. I have actually a leather case for my fixed, or my interchangeables. So there's that. So the only other thing I've got a couple things for enabling. The first thing is, oh, this isn't even going to come out right. I'll have to take a picture. This isn't showing up right. This lovely skein of Malabrigo Rios in it's a lovely, like, deep purple magenta color. Yeah, it's not showing up right. That I picked up when I picked up the buttons, and then a copy of The Brave Little Finn. which is a book by a local author here, and they had signed copies, so it's going with the sweater to a friend of ours, who, the editor of the site my husband works for their new little one, which is due, I think, beginning of April, so I gotta mail that the next couple days so they have it in time. And then the only other thing I got was sort of a trade. Kate of No Name Needleworks, and then she's also the Queen of Starts on YouTube. It's a cross stitching channel, makes needle minders, and I've actually shown them off in the past. And I made her a bag last fall that had Mickey Mouse and stuff on it. So she asked me if I'd make her another one, and so we traded needle minders and then I picked up some because I had to have them. So the first set, these are all her queen size on this page. So I've got the Love, the Children in a Nest, a Pink Cup of Coffee, and then this one it's a cup of coffee or tea, a book equals happiness. Oh, yeah, there. And then I've got X's and O's in the heart. This one says, hand over the coffee, no one gets hurt. And then these are her Duchess size, and then the bottom one is, I haven't had my coffee yet, don't make me kill you. I've got the tulips, the heart here, which is actually made of fall leaves, Knitting Queen, a cup of coffee with a heart and a rose in it, the M with a rose, and then this one here, which is a waterfall rainbow, which is actually going to go on Tanya's cross stitch. No, that I've shown them off. This is her princess size. She has 3 sizes, so the Queen, the Duchess, and the Princess. And then she sent me this cute little orange flower. I got a couple other ones, but they're going to be gifts, so I'm not going to show them off because I saw a couple and they made me think of different friends, so I had to order them for them. So that is really it. Like I said, it's been a lot of finishing. The only other thing I want to show is my next cast on, which I'm going to do the Flax Light by Tin Can Knits. And this is going to be out of Knit Picks Brava Sport in the Peapod, the Silver, and this Celestial, which is this is going to actually my aunt for her little one, which she's due in about 2 weeks. So I want to get that cast on, and then a couple hats in the same colors finished up for her and her husband and their son Zachary. So there's that. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else, and I can't think of anything. If you have any questions for me, post them either in the YouTube comments or in the Ravelry group, and I will be more than happy to answer them for you. Hopefully next time I record I have a little more to show you guys. I know I have a Knit Picks order coming in because I had to order some yarn to do more baby projects. My sister this week actually found out she's having a little girl, so now I get to knit all the girly things, which makes me happy. As much as I love little boys, they're not as fun to knit for, at least in my book. I've got a couple projects planned for her, and I want to do a baby and big sister sweater for my niece Hannah and the new baby for this fall. So I had to order yarn for that. And then I think that's it. Yeah, that is it. I hope everybody has a good 2-ish weeks before I record next, because I'm hoping to keep to the two week every 2 week plan, but we'll see how the spring and summer goes as work picks up. So have a good day. Bye.